glad to have you here. Could you shortly introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, of course. My name is Willie Chen. I consider myself a generation 1.5. I was born in Taiwan and moved to Canada with my family in 1994. I love art making, so once I finished my undergraduate studies here from University of British Columbia, I moved to the United States and pursued my master's degree in fine arts. My work reflects my sandwich position and also portrays my cross-cultural experiences.
Okay. So you might have had some challenges and difficulties since you have immigrated here in Canada. How do you recognize that these challenges and difficulties have influenced your artwork?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I have experienced a lot of difficulties and struggles, and they are in fact what motivated me to create. I remember once there was someone who came to me and said, "Oh, your work is great and I really enjoy your pieces. They're cheerful and they're whimsical. If your work represents who you are, I envy you very much." I truly appreciate this comment, but this person was only partially right. The fact that my work looks cheerful does not necessarily mean my life is equally joyful. I remember at my earlier stage, my work looked dark and gloomy as they reflected my frustration and struggles. However, as time passed by, I started to realize that there are different sides for many things, and I just need to change myself and appreciate them from different perspectives.
And your work are very unique and meaningful. You are trying to connect to cultures. And what do you believe are the potentials of this generation?
Potentials, I think we've been positive and optimistic. I believe we carry all the potentials we can possibly think of. Although I can't speak for all, I personally believe that Generation 1.5 has a great potential working particularly in fields that require multicultural experiences and global insights. We promote awareness of other cultures and celebrate cultural diversity. We could serve to help the new in-between generation overcome the anxiety and frustration that we once had, and we offer first-hand information and support. With our multicultural experience, our bilingual language advantage, and cross-cultural connection, we could step out and fit in around the world.
And we have, as we have discussed, Generation 1.5 has many potentials. And personally, I have two teenage daughters, and they are struggling every day as Generation 1.5. What do you think is an appropriate guidance and support for them?
This is a tough question because it is frustrating for a lot of teenagers to define who they are at the early stage in their life. So this is even more so for the young Generation 1.5, which just came to the new country. At school, they have to face different challenges, for example, learning a new language, adapting to a new environment, and making new friends, etc. Home becomes a safe place for them to amass themselves and relax. And I think that at this time of their life, support and care from their parents become the major source for relief. Okay, I think parents should remain understanding, open-minded, and encouraging. Yet at the same time, they should try to avoid being overprotective, as doing so will slow down the process of fitting in. Struggling is definitely not a pleasant experience to have, but it matures an individual, and I think Generation 1.5 needs to step outside their comfort zone and develop a new mindset.
And you have also had an experience to teach at secondary schools in the multicultural settings.
Right.
What is important support to this generation at schools?
Okay, I believe all the teachers at the school are trying to offer some help and support to the students, especially the new immigrants, to have an equal comfortable, safe, inclusive classroom and a learning environment will be a good start. The teacher should treat everyone in the class equally regardless of their race, class, gender, and religion. Secondly, the extra help and time offered by the teacher will greatly benefit the students who need the extra help. It's a good idea for the teacher to keep a track of the students' performance in class and participation in the activities in general, and then make sure the parents are well informed. So the teacher, the parents, and the student are all well connected. Thirdly, it would be very encouraging if the teacher would try to promote and encourage the students to participate in school events and club activities that promote multiculturalism and anti-racism. Because during such a workshop or activities, students can not only learn more about other cultures, they can also have a chance to introduce their own culture to the new environment. Last but not least, the counseling services. In the school, there are many professionally trained counselors who are ready and available to help students to deal with their personal issues. So especially for the young new immigrants, I think it's very important for them to find a safe and healthy way to release their negative energy, especially during their struggling process.
So, what do you think is the key to become an active cultural habit? Do you have any advice to this generation?
Oh, okay. In my opinion, I think getting involved in community activities is a good way. Because the new generation 1.5 will have more chances interacting with different people, and they will accept themselves naturally in the group. At the same time, I think sometimes this generation 1.5 may feel reserved or afraid of expressing themselves in front of the public, mainly because of their language barrier or cultural difference. But avoiding is only going to shut down the conversation. So be positive and speak up. Also, negative thoughts, especially self-denial or self-doubt, will occur from time to time. So it is very crucial for the new generation 1.5 to learn how to deal and live with them peacefully.
Okay, lastly, we are in the era of the globalization, and more cultural diversity would be seen in many parts of the world in the future. What is the message to people and to societies to realize true multiculturalism?
Good question. I feel very fortunate to live in Vancouver, one of the most well-known multicultural communities in the world. It is a shared society. So people here in Vancouver value cultural diversity and welcome newcomers. But in the meanwhile, I realized that the notion of globalization and multiculturalism are still not very well established in many parts of the world. People in such communities tend to be fixed in an outdated structure and are reluctant toward the new trend. My advice for them will be flexible and accommodating, because the world is changing every day. Things are no longer linear in the globalization era, and so please be open to all the global citizens and their perspectives, because it is going to be a shared world after all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.